Good morning. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Math Review. It is Wednesday. It is the 25th of March. I am Mr. Courtney, and this was what I called the awesome self-quiz that I gave you to work on Monday. And if you did not get a chance to try it, but you want to check in with yourself to see how you're doing in math, you can just go into the feed for Facebook, or you can go back onto YouTube and find the past video. It was on Monday, and you can see the problems. I'm going to work them here for you today. And if you'd like, you can also work along with me and then post it as well. I'll give you the same credit. Instead of an A+++++, I'll probably just give you an A++, just so that you know. Anyway, good morning. Let's get started. So most of you noticed right away on number one that these two numbers were going to be super compatible. And if you did, you are smart, because we like to work smarter and not harder in this class, right? And you notice that 7 can be factored out 1 time. And in this number, 7 can be factored out 5 times. And so you have a much easier problem to solve. You just have 30 on the top, which is the total 30 anyway. But if you do the thinking and you estimate, you can also see that 30 makes a lot of sense. And here's why. 6/7 is almost a whole group of 35. So if I have 35 cookies and I have almost a whole group of those cookies, I'm going to have about 30. So I feel really good about my answer. I'm going to circle it. That sounds great. And number 2, I'll be honest, I gave you number 2 because I wanted to see how many brainiacs knew that 3 actually is compatible with 42. Yeah. Do you remember our divisibility rules? 4 plus 2 is 6. And since you can add these digits and get 6, and 6 is divisible by 3, then that means even though it doesn't look like it, 42 is divisible by 3. So, and if somebody is sitting there going, I know the answer, say it out loud. That's right, it's 14. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 42 14 times. And look at that, I've made short work out of all of that. And you know, it makes a lot of sense, and here's why. Because if I had 42 potatoes and I said I need to use 1/3 of those for a recipe, I'm going to use less than half. Half of 42 is 21. And 14 is a little smaller than 21. So I feel really good about my answer again. Okay. So what about number 3? And as we know, when the whole number's in front, this problem feels a lot different, because what this is really telling us is it's saying I have 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5, and I'm doing that 40 times. Now, something occurred to me here, that 5 and 40 are compatible. In fact, 5 times 8 is 40. And that makes a lot of sense, because if I had 1/5 5 times, this would equal 1 whole. And if I kept that up, it would take 8 of these wholes. So I'm thinking my answer is 8, but let's do the math. And look at that. I can already see this is going to come true. 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 40 8 times. If I multiply across, I get 8 over 1, which is 8. So in other words, if I eat 1/5 slice of a pizza, and I do that 40 times, yeah, I'm going to eat just 1/5 slice, but if I do it 40 times, I'm actually going to wind up eating 8 whole pizzas, which I have a feeling some of you can actually do. A little scary. What about 3/8 of 1/3? Now remember, this is a piece of a piece. It's a piece of a piece, which means it's going to get smaller. It's going to be really close to 0. So let's do the math. Check it out. Once more, I have given you problems that you can look to find the cross-canceling of. And look at that. It's going to be really small. It's going to be almost 0, just about an 1/8. So if you started with 1/3 of a cookie and somebody came along and they left you with 3/8 of that slice, oh man, it is going to be brutal. And I'll quickly show that in the model because I don't think we can see this enough, especially since this is our last day looking at it. But here's that 1/3 I'm left with. And if I get 3/8, that means I'm going to split this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm just going to get these 3 pieces. And you're probably thinking, well, that's 3 out of 24. Yeah, but guess what? 3 out of 24 simplifies to 1/8. So this piece right here, 1, if I did that with all of these, would wind up to be 1 out of 8. All right, let's move on. You probably saw right away that you could estimate this to a little bit more than 24. Okay, because there's an extra 1/3 piece, and I'm going to do that 6 times. So I might go up to 25. I might even go up to 26. But in order to solve, I am going to use my shortcut, which is to change this to a mixed number. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13 over 3. And oh man, I love it when this happens. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 6 twice. This is going to make quick work. Look at what I did. Don't you love it when your solution is your estimate? That's the bomb. So, to review today, if you have not taken the awesome quiz, give it a shot, okay? I know you can solve it. The video has my solutions and some of my models and some of my thinking, okay? Feel free to follow along while you're doing it. Remember, I'm proud of you. Keep up the hard work. Spring break's only a couple days away. I'll see you in our lesson today, which is division with fractions. Whoom, bum, 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 bum. Most people think it's the hardest lesson of the year. In fact, some teachers even say it's the toughest lesson to teach. So we'll see if I can survive it today, okay? I'll try to flip this around so you can see I'm here. There I am. Good morning. I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. I'll see if Oreo is here. Say bye, Oreo.